Okay, there we go. Now we're being recorded. Um, we're going to go over four of the hands that I'd prepared, and I was looking, actually, hand one also fits the theme of this one. It was just a random deal, but it sort of fits it. So I'm going to go over the four hands that we prepared and we've got commentary for. Before we get started, I'll do this again at the end of the lecture, but I will put in the lesson hands. This is a PDF of the lesson hands. I usually end up saying the same things that I'd sort of do in the lesson hands. The hands that we're going to be covering are 3, 5, 8, and 11. All right. And then after that, I'm happy to go over any other hands. I'd like to go over board one as well when we're done. But let's go over the ones that I know what we're doing. What the heck is this? There we go. Why did it not load up? Okay, let's try this again. Don't forget what I said about board one. Okay, there we go. Okay, so as I said, the topic of these are bids that are invitational. You don't have enough to get to game without extra values for your partner, but you've got more than you have promised with an initial response or an initial bid. We'll go over those. South has 16 high card. They have a small singleton though, so you're legally not allowed to open a no trump without a small singleton. Directors can be very nasty about that kind of thing. So your proper opening bid is a club, even though you have 16 high card. West has to pass. North doesn't have a four card major. With six diamonds, there's no rush to bid no trump, so we'll start with a diamond, and East passes. First question is, what do you rebid with both majors when you've got the South hand? You rebid one heart. Over one heart, partner can bid a spade without advancing the level. Over one spade, two hearts is choose up another level. So you bid the lower of your two four card suits, just as if you were responding to one of a minor by partner. You'd start with a heart. Same thing here for the same reason. You start with one heart. Even though you have a little extra values, it's not worth two hearts. That's a really strong bid. Some people play it as completely game forcing. Even if you don't do that, it's at least 18 points. This is not strong enough for a two heart bid. Pass. Now, what should North do? They don't have support for either hearts or clubs. They don't have a spade stopper, so they can't bid no trump, and they're far too strong to pass. So that's three of the four suits and no trump. We're left with diamonds. We've got a good six card diamond suit. Even though there's no known fit, you'd bid two diamonds here if you had 6 points, and you actually have 11. So this is worth jumping to three diamonds. This is not a forcing bid. The responder needs to do something else if they have uh, 12, 13 points, enough to get to game. Um, but it does show a six card suit, usually a pretty good six card suit. And partner can then evaluate a little better. When you're dealing with minor suits, you're looking mostly towards three no trump. So three diamonds, partner can gauge the depth of the diamond fit, and that'll help them decide on some minimum hands. That you can get to three no trump when it's 13 opposite 11, but you've got six cards in diamonds that you can run. You can sometimes have hands that make three no trump that way. Three diamonds will help that partner be able to evaluate and get that across. So over three diamonds, East West are now passing throughout. This hand has a singleton diamond. They should hate a singleton diamond. Um, but it's still 16 good high card points and very good very good stoppers in spades. So just on the fact they have 26 high card or so, they have to sort of bid three no. just on sheer power, right? Even though the diamond fit doesn't work very well. I'm sorry, did somebody? Okay. You bid hearts because you don't. Sorry. Someone was asking why you would bid one heart as opposed to no trump. Partner could still have a four card major. You, I don't mind bypassing a major to bid one no, but if you're not going to bid one heart or one spade, it's like too strong to bid one no trump. That's a 12 to 14, and it's too weak to bid two no trump. That's 18 or 19. So there's no bid that says I have a balanced 16 count because you would have opened a no trump. So when you have an unbalanced hand with 16 points, you have to start with a heart. And if you bid a no trump, if you rebid a no trump, you have to have a doubleton in your partner's suit. Um, it's a balanced hand, so you have to have a doubleton. So it's an unbalanced hand, even though it doesn't have a five card suit, and you don't have an adequate no trump rebid that describes this point count anyway. That's why you bid a heart. Okay, one heart, three diamonds, and South bids three no trump just on power. So what should we lead as West? They bid three suits. You sort of like to lead the unbid suit, but the hearts are really nice. And partners probably got some points. If they had a good spade suit and some points, they might have overcalled a spade. Like if the East hand was like about a point more and a spade more, they could have bid a spade over a diamond. So you've got that as an inference that you don't want to lead the fourth suit. Jack of spades might be okay, but it's Queen of Hearts is certainly safer. Sorry, let's pass. Queen of Hearts is certainly a safer lead. You always like to lead from an honor sequence. Um, so I think the Queen of Hearts is the right lead. If you led the Jack of Spades, that'd be fine. If you're going to lead Spade, lead the Jack. On the Queen of Hearts, Declare has to count tricks and see where they're going to get tricks from. So there are not many high card tricks. You have the Ace King of Hearts for two. You have the Ace King of Queen of Clubs, that's five. And you have the Ace King of Diamonds, that's seven. So that's seven pure tricks. The Ten of Clubs might take a trick either through a successful finesse or the Jack of Clubs dropping. And the King of Spades might take one trick. It's very unlikely you're going to get more than that. I think you can sort of see that even though it's not the best fit in the world, the best chance to make this is to set up Dummy's diamond suit. Um, so given that we've decided we're going to go after diamonds, you want to make sure at trick one, you want to think about what you're going to play at trick one. You want to make sure that the King of Hearts is going to be a late entry to the diamonds. If the diamond suit doesn't come home right away, you want to make sure that you can have the King of Hearts to get to dummy afterwards. Uh, and the other reason you want to be in your hand is you're planning the percentage play in this suit is to start out with a diamond to the jack. So both to preserve the King of Hearts as an entry and so that you're in the right hand to take the finesse right away, you want to play low here and win the ace. Now let's take a diamond finesse before we do anything else. And you're hoping that wins. If that wins, we can just go ace king and another diamond, and we still have the king of hearts to set them up. As long as they're no worse than 4-2, you were going to be fine. This case, the diamond finesse was off. Now you're in a wee bit of trouble without knowing the opponent's hands. This is from Declara's point of view. East has a choice of plays here. They probably should think that Declare has to have the spade stopped when they bid 3-0. If they have the spade stopped, we want to set up our heart tricks before they set up their spade trick. So I think the correct return is you returning your partner's suit. It would be wrong if they were going to cash the entire spade suit, but if that was the case, South wouldn't have bid 3-0. It's sort of an odd inference, but returning your partner's suit is always a decent idea. So they win the King of Hearts, and now you have to hope that diamonds split 3-3. If they don't, you're gonna have to get really lucky somewhere. But they do split 3-3. Great. So now you're gonna cash the three more diamonds. You're gonna cash the ace, king, queen of clubs. And that'll be it. You don't want to play a spade because they're going to be able to cash the ace of spades and two hearts on you. You'd still make four, make three, but if you just cash your high tricks, you'll make four. So you're going to cash three diamonds, the ace, king, queen of clubs. That's 3-0 making four. This one there's other ways you can get to 3-0, but this one was one where you were describing your high card points in addition to describing your good suits on the way while doing that. That's the advantage of having the three diamond bid. If North just bid two diamond, sorry, let's go over the sorry, I don't want to go back. I can't undo anymore, but if it went a club, a diamond, one heart, if North just bid two diamonds, about 6 to 10 points, South should probably pass. It's at most 26 points, but you're going to have a big misfit. If the North hand was the same hand without the King of Hearts, 3-0 Trump would be a very bad spot. So a disciplined player would recognize that it's a misfit and get out as quickly as possible. This one, it's still a misfit, but you just have too much power to avoid bidding 3-0 with the South hand. And I think that the invitational bid will get the six diamonds across, but also the little more than the fact that it's bigger than a two diamond rebid. That lets you get to 3-0. And 3-0 is a good spot. And yeah, you needed diamonds 3-3 or the queen of diamonds on side, essentially. That's a decent enough spot. That was about it for this one. All right, let's go on to board number 5. So this one was going to be another bid that's invitational. Um, South Open, sorry, North passes, East opens one club. The South hand has only 9 points and their partner has passed, so there's probably not a game between the North-South hands. But you've got a good suit. You want to suggest a lead. You've got 9 points. That's suitable for a one level overcall. This is a one diamond overcall, I think. You certainly don't want to say double. You're a little bit light on high card, and you don't have support in hearts. But I think this is worth a one diamond overcall. West, usually a double here is exactly 4-4 in the majors. You bid a spade, and if we belong back in hearts, hopefully we'll find some way of getting there. But bid a spade. North has 8 points. I think with two bidding people, it's probably pass. If they bid a no trump here, it's not that bad, but I think pass is right. Either way, whether they pass or bid a no trump, the East hand has 17 high card. They have a singleton spade. 2 no trump is a misdescription only because you have a singleton spade. You're supposed to have a doubleton when you rebid no trump. And 1 point light, although the sixth club makes up for it. 2 no trump wouldn't be a bad rebid, but three clubs is probably a better one. Um, if you belong in no trump, you'll have time to get there. If you don't belong in no trump, if you belong, three clubs is probably going to be a better
I don't
part
know yet.
score.
I'm just finished my game and I
Oh, sorry. Um, three clubs is probably going to be a better part score than 2-no. So the jump rebid by opener is not a forcing bid. You have to manufacture something if you have like the same shape with 20 high card. It's about 16 to 18 high card, roughly. A good six card suit. And you don't have primary support in partner's suit. You might have three spades, but you won't have four. You have to raise spades when you have four. Um, the other part is you sort of deny four cards in the other major If you had the same hand with four hearts and two diamonds instead of three hearts and three diamonds, you could rebid two hearts, and that would be descriptive. So it's not guaranteed, but three clubs sort of denies four cards in the other major. If West had responded to hearts, hang on, I'll just undo a little bit. Say that West had responded with a heart. East has to bid spades if they have four. So three clubs would deny four spades. This is not on this layout, but I'm just giving you the auction. You'd always want to bid a four card major here. So over one spade, sort of for the same reason, three clubs denies four hearts. South has said their piece. They should pass. One common error is that with a misfit hand that's very minimum, West likes to. All seen West want to bid three hearts here. That's not too bad a bid, but it's overstating the values a little bit. It is still a misfit. It's descriptive, but you're about a king light for a three heart bid. Three hearts would be a forcing bid, and you're got to get the game. Um, so it's 8 points or more for three hearts. Well, you don't have 8 points, so you should pass. Partners invited, don't have a club fit, you've got a minimum, you say pass. So we play three clubs. Um, both three clubs is an okay spot. Three no isn't that bad a spot, but it's 17 opposite six with no fit. It's not that great a spot. It could be even worse if the diamond situation was worse. Um, so against three clubs, South should lead the king. Oh, sorry. Pass, pass, pass. South should lead the king of diamonds. And East, as somewhat expected on this kind of auction, Dummy has very little that's useful. The heart spots are useful, but it's going to be a little bit of a trouble getting there. The one thing that I would suggest doing here is, no, sorry, North should play the nine of diamonds to show a doubleton. I'd suggest ducking this king of diamonds. Um, it's for the same reason you do in no trump. You're stopping them leading through the jack on the way back. It's going to cut the north-south communication in diamonds a bit. And if they continue another diamond and North roughs it, that might be with a natural trump trick anyway. So they might be roughing one of your losers with a natural trump trick. So after the king of diamonds, let's say that South didn't read the situation and they continue with another diamond. They should play the 10 because if partner's going to rough, they want to get a spade back instead of a heart. That's the suit preference signal. This case, partner finishes it off. Um, what do I want to do? Well, there's a line that works. Yeah, I think this is probably the right line. This is going to be sort of double dummy. There's a couple of lines that work. We certainly want to start going after clubs, and we have no convenient entry to get there. Um, what works at this point is playing the jack of spades, and then eventually, so they have to rise with the ace, or they're going to lose it. And then they might as well play another diamond. Whether North roughs or not, um, you're going to put North in, and they'll have to lead a spade or a heart. So you can make three clubs that way. It's not guaranteed. It might be after the ace king of clubs, it might have been right to play a third club. So a little bit of guesswork involved. There's no right or wrong here. But the big point was you didn't really want to bid three hearts with, sorry, I'll go back to the full hand. You didn't really want to bid three hearts opposite the invitational three club bid. You might want to, if you were 5-5, you might want to overbid a little to get your shape across. But you just need to recognize that it's still a misfit. Good, tone it down when there's not a good fit with partner's suit. And if you pass three clubs and went down one, that's pretty normal. If you bid 3-no, I don't think anybody would be in 3-no making. It's possible, but it's not very likely. Three clubs is where I'd like to be playing, looking at the two hands anyway. Not an easy. We just wanted to point out an example of what a jump rebid in a suit by opener is. There's another example in one of the further ones. So this one isn't. I know it's a lesson hand, but it's not crystal clear. Um, you do what you do sometimes. All right, let's go on to the next one. Sorry, next one is 8. There we go. This one is a system one, and lots of people play different systems. But let's start with the auction. One no trump by south is normal, and west, oops, undo. Pass, pass, pass. One no trump, pass. So the north hand is a very specific kind of hand. You have a 6 card minor, and you can't fudge this part. Two of the top three honors. What you'd like to do is you usually would like to suggest playing 3-no if partner has the other missing honor. If just looking at the north hand, if your partner has king X of clubs, they probably have 6 club tricks, and they probably have enough high card outside that they got 9 tricks if clubs are running. If partner doesn't have the king of clubs, you've not only got to pick up the club suit, but you've also got to look after everything else. So you want to be in 3-no if partner has the missing club honor. You don't if they don't. How can you express that to partner? There's a couple of different systems out there, and I'll go over them a little bit in the commentary. But a popular treatment is three of a minor, either 3 clubs or 3 diamonds. It's a natural bid, it's non-forcing, and it's invitational. It says specifically, I have ace queen six or ace king sixth of clubs, maybe even king queen sixth if you're feeling brave. It's not forcing, and the first thing that the opener should look at is their holding in that suit. If they don't fit the suit that partners bid, your instinct should be to pass this. You're usually not going to make 3-no trump unless the suit of the minor comes home. Maybe shouldn't even give north a 10. Yeah, never mind. Some people play four-way transfers where two spades transfers to clubs and 2-no transfers to diamonds. Or a common method, which is a good method, is two spades is like I'm trying to sign off in 3 clubs or 3 diamonds. The opener rebids 3 clubs, and then you either pass or you bid 3 diamonds. But it's useful, whatever system you are playing, it is useful to have this tool in the bidding arsenal. Oh, that's a horribly mixed metaphor. Sorry. Uh, Tool in your bag. Um, so that you can get to 3-no with the hands that are like 23 combined high card, but a running 6 card suit. Those make 3-no, and it's nice to do that. The only way you can do that is you have three of the minor available as an invitational bid. Then that way partner can judge. So over 3 clubs, East passes. The South hand has a little it's 16. It's not a minimum. But you look at the 2 small clubs and that says, oh no, we have a bad fit in clubs. We should just pass. And that will end the auction. How do you do in clubs? Well, they're going to lead the 10 of spades probably. Now, Declare has the ace of spades, the ace of hearts to lose. They don't know whether the ace of hearts is onside or not. They don't know if the queen of diamonds is onside or not. But fortunately, on the spade lead, you're going to get some pitches on the spades. So what I suggested was let's say West ducks. They know that declare has the jack because partner led the 10. So the ace would set up another trick. You want to try to get your pitch on spades. Sorry, I'll just get there in a sec. Uh yes, I can do that. Sorry. Is that better? I hope. Okay. Um so sorry, I'll go back. So they ducked trick one, you win the jack. I'd suggest setting up the pitch on spades before you deal with trumps. So they win the ace. Uh let's have them return a club for argument's sake. And well, hook, and then might as well return a spade. Um, you've got finesse positions in both hearts and diamonds. I suggest here that you pitch a heart. You can then play a heart towards the king, and if it loses, you can come back with the diamond finesse. But if you play a diamond to the jack and that loses, you're still going to lose the ace of hearts. So you want to plan, you want to preserve your options by pitching your second heart loser first, and then you can test both suits to worry about the third round of diamonds. There's no real reason you should guess clubs here. So you win the king, and now you can draw the last trumps mercifully. And now, as I suggest, you want to play the 10 of hearts. If they win the ace, great. Now you've got the ace, king of diamonds, and the king of hearts for dummies or North's three diamonds. If they ducked, you could play the king. If that lost to the ace, you could still take a diamond finesse. So this is once you've drawn the trumps, play a heart before you play a diamond, and set up your pitches on the spades before you do that. Now, as I said, I don't think you should bid three no unless you have a good fit. You fit partner's good six card club suit. But say you did bid three no, how does it do? Sorry, just getting back to there. There we go. Come on. There we go. All right. So say South decided to take a bit of a gamble and they bid three no. Pass, pass, pass. West should lead the fourth best for their suit, so they lead a heart. East should certainly play third hand high here. It's possible partner has the king and the nine, and you might be able to pin the queen. You don't want declare to get a cheap trick. So third hand high, come back with the jack. You come back with the middle card anyway, but you have the advantage that it pins the 10. Doesn't matter, but let's have declare a win. And now to make 3 no trump, you're going to have to come home with the club suit. It's going to be tricky. Unless the king jack of clubs are both on side, it's probably not going to work. So you try the nine, they win the jack, and now they can come through a heart suit, and they can take the queen of hearts, they can take the ace of spades. Yeah. And the big disadvantage is if you decide to take another club finesse, this is down a lot of tricks. Um, the if you bid over the invitational three of a minor bid, if it's wrong, it's very wrong. I know I fixed the hand so that it's wrong, but that's the thing. It's not the difference between usually not the difference between 3 no down one or 3 no making. It's 3 no down four or 3 no making. It's very much dependent on the minor suit running, and if that doesn't happen, um, yeah, it does make three clubs. You should lose one spade, one heart, and unless you can see the opponent's cards, you're probably going to finesse clubs twice. You're going to lose the two major suit aces and the king jack of clubs are what I projected you losing in three clubs. Um, it might go down, they might lead something else, but I think it should end up making three clubs. Not entirely clear, but 3-0 is not a good contract, and it's not a good contract that 2-0 Trump is about right on values. Um, Somebody was suggesting they respond 2-0 Trump to 1-0 Trump, assuming that this is a natural invitational raise. That's about right on values. It's 7 high card points, and you could add a point for the sixth club. So it's about an 8 or 9 point hand, and it's flat. But you're going to make three. I like three clubs better because it fixes on the club suit. 3-0 Trump is going to make 3-0 Trump, not because you have 25 or 26 high card, but because you can run this club suit. And if three clubs is available, it'll help you get to 3-0 Trump when it's right, and more importantly, get you out of 3-0 when it's wrong. So 2-0 Trump is not a bad bid. That would be my second choice. But I really like this three club bid. It's very useful. And it comes up with surprising amount of frequency. But this is unlike something like week two openers. This is something you can't shade. It has to be specifically two of the top three honors that just passes. What does that? So the question is, what does a hand with a six card minor look like that just passes 1-0 Trump? Eh, bad six. You usually want to transfer to it. Um, if I had a really weak hand, weak suit, but and lots of sort of straggly honors outside, then I might pass 1-0 Trump. So say something like, I'm going to write this into chat. Say something like Queen X, Jack X, Jack X, Jack 6. It's it's the queens and jacks are going to probably be more useful in no trump than clubs. If I could bid two clubs over 1-0 and have it not be Stamen, I might want to do that. But because you're going up two levels over 1-0 Trump, yeah, it's not a good idea. You don't want to have this threadbare six card suit a lot. It's because you're two levels higher than you otherwise would be. It's not that frequent. I transferred to the minor or bid the minor a lot with a weak hand, but those are the kinds of hands you'd pass 1-0 rather than getting to the minor. That'd be my suggestion. But if you haven't run across this three club bid here, investigate it. I think it's a useful bid that comes up a fair amount. Okay, one more hand, and then I'm happy to go over any of the other hands that weren't lesson hands. Hand 11. All right, this is sort of a similar one to hand number 5, and that opener's going to bid and rebid their suit. The philosophy when it's a major, however, is a little bit different. And I was just going to go over that a bit. Where South deals and passes. West has 16 points in a balanced hand. 1-0 is okay if you have a 5 card major. Uh, there's some guidelines for whether you open a no trump or open the major, um, but you should never have a 6 card major. You might if it's a 6 card minor, especially if it's a bad suit, just to get the values across. But here you can open one heart. You just don't open a no trump with a 6 card major. Pass, east bids a spade, south passes. This is a bit too, you'd bid two hearts if you had the same hand, same shape, but no ace of spades. So you have to express to your partner that you have some extra values. And the way to do that is you jump in your suit. Again, same kind of thing. It's about 16 to 18 points. Partner can look at the fit a lot more can judge the fit a lot better. Opposite the jump rebid in a major, almost the first thing you should look at before points is how good do I fit this major? If it fits well, you can. Three hearts isn't forcing, but if you have a fit on anything resembling an excuse, you bid four hearts and hope that it makes. So on this hand, you like the Queen of Hearts, but it's not that good a fit. King of Clubs is a good card, but the Jack of Spades and the Jack of Diamonds aren't that useful. It's seven, and partner's shown about 16 to 18. I think it's a pass. It's not guaranteed, but I think it's a pass. Um, does 3 no make? I guess 3 no make. Well, 3 no might make. Um, let's see. So I think East should pass three hearts. If you bid over it and you bid three no's, you don't have a diamond stopper to bid three no. It's not clear cut, but I like pass here. But West should be comfortable that they've expressed their values with three hearts. This is about the minimum you want to have for three hearts. Um, if I had two small diamonds instead of Queen X, that's a two heart bid. It's 16. This case, it's a 16 point hand. So this one's three hearts. The play was somewhat interesting, I thought. Uh, North has to decide what to lead. This isn't an auction you'd want to lead a trump. You might pick up if, say, the partner had Queen third of hearts and dummy had a singleton. You're picking off partner's heart honor if they had one. So heart trump lead isn't suggested. You can't lead a spade because they bid him. Well, you can, but it's not a good lead. We don't like leading unsupported aces, so the club suit's out. So we're going to lead a diamond. It depends on what message you choose to there's no right or I don't think there's a right or wrong here. Your choices are you can lead your fourth best diamond. The disadvantage is you're suggesting to your partner that you have an honor, but you're getting the length across. If you lead the nine of diamonds, oops, sorry, misclicked. You tell your partner that you don't have an honor, but you're sort of misrepresenting the length. Usually, when you lead the high card, you have a singleton or a doubleton. The way that we've been teaching these lessons is if you have three small in a suit, you're going to lead the middle card. So when you lead the nine, you either have a doubleton, a singleton, or you have four. You don't have three because if you had something like nine, eight, five, you'd lead the eight. What it depends on what message you want to send. I think, I think, sorry, I think I'm gonna lead the four of diamonds. It's close. Um, so South wins, and actually, yeah. So South can maybe, if they just continued with the ace of diamonds and played a diamond, that would be fine. Especially considering the partner led a low one. If they can sort of tell that Declara has the queen of diamonds and they're getting a pitch coming, it might be a good idea to play the jack of clubs. Set up your tricks. The spade trick's probably not going to go away. Let's get the king of clubs off the table. Jack of clubs low. Declare is marked with the queen, so it's safe to play low here. Um, they win the king. Now you've got a pitch coming on diamonds once you knock out the other one. And you have to think about how the play is going to go. If we just draw trumps, we're never going to see dummy again. So what you need to do is you need to play the 10 of diamonds, setting up your pitch on the diamonds before you tackle trumps. Because after they cash their clubs, and let's say they shift to a spade, now you've got the queen of hearts to get to dummy. You needed to preserve the queen of hearts. so you can make a pitch on the Jack of Diamonds. It was a little tricky. I don't think many Souths would have found that defense. They might have if North led the nine of diamonds, because then declare is marked with the queen. But the point I wanted to make with the play is just before you rush in and madly decide to draw trumps, make sure that you don't need the trumps as entries before you go after drawing trumps. In this case, you need the Queen of Hearts um, to as an entry for your pitch on diamonds. So you wanted to set up your diamond pitch, then use the Queen of Hearts later. A little bit of a tricky one, and it was going to be a tough defense to even threaten declare in three hearts. But you don't want to be in three no. Trump could go down. It might make three no. If diamonds were 5-3, they definitely wouldn't make three no. But on this hand, it's a shot in making. Double dummy, you can beat three no, but it requires a really weird lead. Um, but this was just another example of what a jump rebid in the suit looks like. You tend opposite that jump rebid in a major to try and play the major instead of three no trump. If you have any sort of doubts, if you've got an unsopped suit and it goes, I'll write another hand into chat. So you have something like queen, ace. If you haven't got it in that stiff queen, ace fourth, king jack fifth, three small. Your partner opened a spade. Um, you chose to bid a no trump. If it's a two diamond bid, that's fine. But if you bid a no trump and your partner bid three spades, you want to sort of go to spades instead of three no. Partner could very easily have a stiff club, and you just don't know how. You don't know about it. So usually a six opposite one is a good fit for game. Better than five opposite two. Um, when opener jump rebids the suit, should be pretty comfortable playing that suit. No trump still might be the right spot, but you should be comfortable playing that suit. Okay, folks, thank you very much. I hope there was some informative stuff for you there. Are there any other hands that weren't covered from the lesson hands that anyone would like to go over? Just plunk it into chat, and I'm happy to go over any of them. Otherwise, I'll wish you a pleasant afternoon. And just in case you weren't here when I put it the first time, I will put in the lesson hands. Just the bidding on 2, 4, and 6. Okay, I'll do that. Let me. I've got to reload the hands, so just give me a sec. Come on, you.
And while he's doing that, the lesson on Thursday is going to be on forcing bids, in case we
Okay,
forget to
great.
tell you at the end.
Okay. No. There we go. Okay. Let's get rid of that. And okay, first off, is this the hand for number two? Does somebody? I think it.
I
Let's.
don't,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah, it
it's,
is. Okay, I can't. If I go past it, I can't go back. So okay. So East. It's the right suit quality and the right point count for a two spade bid, but we suggest not doing it with four cards in the other major. It's you certainly will never get to a 4-4 heart fit unless East does something very odd. So I think East should pass rather than open two spades. If I had the same high card, but it was two small hearts and ace jack fourth of diamonds, now I'm comfortable opening two spades. It's very close to a one spade. Oh no, it's about a queen light for a one spade opener. I love the fact that all my high cards are in my long suits and I've got a distribution, but it's not quite up to a one spade opener. And I don't think you should open a week two with four cards in the other major. Partner could have a really strong hand and it just gets tough. So pass. South says pass. West, there's two schools of thought when you're four diamonds and five clubs. If you open a club uh, and your partner bids a spade, you're sort of stuck for a rebid. One no describes the general shape, but you usually have to have two spades for that. Two or more, three spades. So one no would be okay, but you're misdescribing the spade suit. Two clubs would be okay, but you're misdescribing the club suit. You almost always have six there or five good ones. Two diamonds is right out. That shows it's a reverse when you bid two of a higher suit, and that shows a much better hand than that. Because of this problem, sorry, I'll go back and back and back. Some players would open a diamond, and now you can comfortably rebid two clubs. You at least get both minors off your chest. Partner unfortunately can't tell which one is your longer minor if you're going to open one diamond on these. It's sort of a matter of style. I would open a club and rebid two clubs, but there's nothing wrong with opening a diamond and rebidding two clubs, or opening a club and rebidding a no trump. They all have flaws. Oh, I haven't even gone into North yet. Uh, I think North. Okay. Sorry, I didn't see the North hand. Let's start it with a club opener, and we'll go from there. Okay. One club, one note. I think this is about where it's minimum, but you've got your cards behind the West hand where most of the points are going to be. If they did overcall a no trump, I think the East hand is worth two spades. That's a non-forcing bid. If you had more high cards than this, you'd start with a penalty double. Double here is penalty. It's one of the few situations where nobody plays negative doubles anymore. Double is still penalty if they overcall a no trump. So if you had 10 or more high card, unless you're really, really distributional, you start with double. Um, the ability to take a lot of tricks on defense. It's a lot easier when you have 10, your partner has 14, and this poor guy's just playing one no trump out of his hand all the time. If you're going to double with all good hands, all non-doubles are therefore sort of deny 10 or more points. They're non-forcing. One no pass. West shouldn't get out while the getting out is good. Hope partner's suit is good enough. North has said more than enough with one no. They don't want to. So that's what I would suggest the auction should be. I think East shouldn't open two spades. Whatever West does, a club or a diamond, North will overcall the no trump, and I think East should bid two spades, and that should end the auction. That's my suggested auction. I don't even know how it does. Two spades, a club, a diamond, and maybe a heart. Making two or three. I guess that's what happens. Okay. That's the bidding of that one. Let's go to four. All right. West starts and they have a pass. North, it's getting close, but it's 11 points, no aces, no great distribution. This is a pass. It would still be a pass if it's a major. If I think we've covered the rule of 20 a whole bunch of times. You add your high card points to your two longest suits. If that's 20, and you have some decent high card, what we call quick tricks, aces and kings, then it's an opening bid. This case, you have 11 high card, but eight cards in clubs and either hearts or spades. That's 19, so it suggests not opening the bidding. So if North passes, I think it should just go one no pass. This is 10 points. That's usually try to get to game opposite a one no opener. On this hand, unfortunately, the Queen of Diamonds is garbage because it's opposite the Ace King tight, but you don't know that. Uh, Bridge is not a perfect game. With two four card majors, um, the very old-fashioned system used to respond bid two spades here. Um, with very simple systems, either one of them actually works. But you want nowadays, there's so many other little gadgets or hands you want to describe that the bidding theorist learned that if you respond two hearts with this, it's best. So you bid two hearts with both majors. If partner does have four spades, they'll be able to tell you about it. So like here, I think this is worth three no trump, even though it's 10. And given that they went through Stayman, they heard about the four hearts, and they still said, "Oh no, no trump." The only reason they should be doing that is if they have four spades as well. So I think the auction should just go one no, two clubs. Do you have a major? Yeah, I've got hearts. Okay, I heard about the hearts. I think three no is right. Then East needs to think, oh, well, he must have spades as well. So I think this is what the auction should be. I don't think South should be coming in with, even though they have a seven card suit, it's not enough points. If they did, okay, but I'm not happy about it. How do they do in spades? Not great because the Queen of Diamonds is a wasted card. You're gonna lose one spade, two clubs, and a heart. I think four spades will be down one. But sicker ducks have flown, as somebody said. That's my suggested auction on this board. And the last one was number 6. All right. Awkward one. Yeah, this is going to be awkward. Whoops. East is going to open a diamond. South is going to pass. This one's sort of a problem-y hand. If Tuno Trump is natural and an invitational, it's not a bad description. Yeah, I don't like the fact I don't have a solid spade stopper. Um, but uh if you bid two clubs, it's not a cleaner auction. Everybody's going to be worried about what's forcing and what's not. Two no trump at least gets the point count off right away and gets the major suit fits out of the way. Over two no trump, North, that chews up a lot of room for North. North is not Vull. I don't quite think they have it's a nice hand. I really like the nice hand, this hand with North, but I don't think it's worth coming in three spades over two no. If they pass, East should probably look at their 14 high card and just bid three no. They've got stoppers in both majors. If they wanted to be a little more scientific, they could bid three hearts. And then this hand without any spade stopper can't bid three no. They probably should go back to diamonds. And this hand, oh hey, partner has diamonds as well. Pass, pass, pass. So a five diamonds is a decent spot. It looks like you're gonna have some finesses to take. But you've got two clubs and a heart are the losers you have off the top of your head. Uh, five diamonds might make or might not. Probably should make, but it's not clear. Um, if sorry, if he's just bid three no, that should end the auction. North should lead the Queen of North should lead the Queen of Spades, and Declara has to gulp and take the heart finesse. That gets you nine tricks. Um, but three no is a decent spot. It would be a great spot if for some reason they didn't lead a spade. And on a spade lead, you have six diamonds, the ace of spades, the ace of hearts. You don't have time to set up a club trick, so you try the Queen of Hearts and it works. That's my suggested bidding on that one. Okay, sorry. Somebody else. On the Against five diamonds, I don't like leading. Well, I think it's still a singleton. I'd still lead it. We're talking about the current hand, I'm presuming. Um, Sorry, let me go back there. So let's use my other auction and say they're in five diamonds. Leading a singleton is usually a decent idea. Uh, you don't want to lead a doubleton out of nowhere, but leading the queen of clubs here, I think it would be clear cut if it wasn't the queen, ironically. It might cost a trick on power. Um, Here, I'd still do it. The alternative I have to the queen of clubs is a low spade. It's one or the other. I think I'd lead a singleton. I think singletons are attractive leads, and it's going to make the defense simple, is the good news. Yeah. I'd lead the queen of clubs, but if the opening lead was a low spade ahead instead, that's okay. The queen of clubs might burn a trick on a different layout. But singleton leads are usually pretty good on the defense. So that's what I'd lead. Okay, folks. I think that's it for me today. Thank you for listening to me for an hour. Hope you enjoyed yourself and hope to see you on Thursday. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.